All right, guys, today is a bittersweet day around here. You guys know that we have been considering selling the RV. Now that we're here, we'd really thought about turning the camper into a guest house, but that idea just didn't really make sense for a number of reasons for us. So we decided to sell it, and we had someone local who was interested in it, and everything worked out. It would be a great thing for the family who bought it, and I'm just sad though because it's leaving today. Ciara's been out there emptying out the belly because we already cleaned out the inside and got it all clean to show people, but we still had stuff like in the belly of it or whatever. So Ciara cleaned out the belly of it, and he's taking that stuff to our storage unit today, and the family's coming to pick up the camper today to make it their new home. So it's just kind of one of those things that, you know, it's just like bittersweet. I'm happy because I know it's the right decision, but I'm still like sad to see it go because we have so many great memories in that camper. And for me, that's part of the reason, like, I'm so thankful that we have the videos too, because it's not just like some pictures and stuff. We have lots of videos and lots of memories of that trip and how much fun we had and how much we loved it. And I wish that we had been able to do more camping and been able to use it more, but it just didn't work out that way. So we are definitely the kind of people that tend to like learn things the hard way. And so that's basically what we did. It was bought a camper and then found out that it wasn't really the right fit for us. So with that, I have got to go get some documents notarized and some things signed to take care of everything for the sale of that today. I also told you guys in the last video that I would give you a farm update. So I'm going to do that today as well, kind of go around and give you an update. And then I also told you I was going to update you on some exciting things that were coming, and I'm going to do that as well today. I've got some very exciting drawings, schematics, if you will, to look at. I've got to take those over to my parents' house so we can look at them together. So those things are all on the agenda today. It is freezing cold outside. My kids are all like bundled up, snuggled up together downstairs on the sofa watching TV right now. So I just finished getting ready. Ciara's taking stuff, like I said, to storage. I really, like, part of me was like, do I have to film this vlog today because it's freezing cold outside and I don't really want to go outside and walk around and show things, but I'm gonna put on my big fluffy coat and bear the cold, because I really have learned that I don't like cold. I really don't. I always thought I wanted to live in the mountains when I, you know, like my dream was like, oh, someday I'll have a mountain cabin or whatever. Maybe I could do that if I never had to go outside. But I can deal with the heat better than I can deal with the freezing cold and having to be outside. Because then like your fingers go numb and you can't do anything and ugh. All right, so here's the current situation with the office building. As you can see, we have a whole lot of products and not a finished office yet. So the long and short of it is that Ciara and my dad started building this shed, and it said on the box that it would take 2 people 1 day to build. Well, the thing that we didn't realize was that this particular brand, I guess, comes from like the UK. So it's mostly popular over there in the UK. And so the instructions, everything was metric. Obviously not something that they do on a regular basis, so that made it challenging. And then they got to the point where the foundation, we thought, like the slab that we were putting it on, was better and like ready to have a building put on it. Turns out it was not. It needed some work. So they had to spend like 2 days just working on the foundation. So that was really kind of a bummer because we'd really hoped they'd be able to get it up quicker. And then they got to this point, they were finally kind of cooking with gas, because this is one of those things that it's like tongue and groove, like snap together. It's really meant to be quite simple. And so they finally got kind of cruising with it, and things were going really well, and there was 2 missing pieces in the box. So Ciara had to reach out to the manufacturer and get them to quickly ship us the 2 missing pieces so that they can continue on with this. So unfortunately, it's definitely not going to take 1 day. I think they're on like 2 days of work already, like total 2 days of work, and it's just maybe even 3, and it's really just the foundation and partially up. So there's still a lot more work to do here. But we're going to have to cover it all with tarps today because it's supposed to rain starting in a couple of hours. So that's why I thought I'd get out here and update you guys on everything before the rain comes in. So it's supposed to rain, and got to cover it with tarps, and there'll be no work on it done today, which is a bummer. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all just anxious and ready for things to get done. We feel like we have a lot of half-done projects, started projects that aren't finished, and we can honestly say this time, usually that's Ciara and I like starting things and then procrastinating, but it's definitely that's not the case this time. It's just circumstantial things that are out of our control. All right, so in terms of some other farm stuff, the next phase is the fencing on this side over here. So we have just got the quote back and they did all the measurements and everything. So we are going to begin doing the work, I believe, in the beginning of February on this fencing here. This is some of the oldest fencing on the property, so it definitely needs to be replaced. So we're going to start on that, and it's going to be just like on the other side where it's a top rail with a no climb at the bottom. We're going to be replacing this fencing here. And then the most exciting part, I think, so from about this post down, that is going to become an arena. So we're going to leave the fencing on that back area there, and this will be new fencing. That side will be obviously new fencing. Right now that side is just the electric fence, so all of this is going to get new fencing except for that wall over there, and this is going to become our riding arena area. And then in the middle section here, we're going to have a bridle path. So it'll be the arena, then you'll have, I think we're doing a 12-foot bridle path through here, and then it will start the next pasture that will go here. And where we cleared land over there, we're going to be kind of cutting in. And then probably, arguably, some of the most exciting things that are going to be being added are right up here. So as you guys know, when we bought the place, it had this storage room, tack room already here. But what we didn't have was an actual barn with stalls. So right in this section here, okay, that's where we're going to be putting the new barn. So we really went back and forth. That is something we haven't really talked about much on the vlogs, but for months now we've been meeting with different barn builders and doing different research on different companies and stuff, trying to figure out the best situation for our horses, for the property, for the budget. The solution that we came up with, and I will show you guys, is we are going to be building a what's called a shed row barn right here in this area. So it's going to have, basically, there'll be 4 stalls here, and then we're putting run-in sheds in the pastures that all of these, the shed row and the run-ins, will all have what's called a lean-to. So I'll try to insert pictures here to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, but the lean-to is like this overhang area. So that will give us space to tack up and do different things, and then we're going to have kind of a space in between. So the shed row barn is going to go here, then we'll have a little space in between, and we've got our tack room here. So that was the thing, was we didn't have to have a center aisle barn with a wash stall, tack room, office, all that stuff, because we did already have a tack room, storage room here. So it just made sense for us to build the stalls and kind of forget about the rest. And we're not forget about the rest, but use what we already have basically to accommodate the rest of those needs. And then over here is where we're going to be building like an outdoor wash stall area. So we don't need a wash stall in the barn. Oh my gosh, I'm a giant baby. It's cold outside. The wind is blowing, so that makes it even colder. And that door's about to slam. Huh. Okay, so it's not exactly what we had initially envisioned, right? Where you think oh, it's gonna look like this, and I'm gonna have this big barn and all these things. It's not exactly what we initially envisioned, but that's just the way it works. You know, you got to ebb and flow and do what works and what you can afford to do and what's within your budget and means to do. And then of course, for us, we feel like ultimately at the end of the day, this is actually in the long run much, much better for the horses. It doesn't have to be big and extravagant. It meets all of our needs. And I think at the end of the day, it's all going to be beautiful, and we are all just really anxious and looking forward to getting it up and done. So I actually just got the blueprints from the company that we're using to build these things, and so it's actually a really neat concept. They build it off-site, in their warehouse in pieces, and then they deliver it here and sort of erect it and put it all together here on site. So it's nice because basically it'll be we get the land prepped, and then they come, and anywhere from a day to 2 days, just depending on what the product is, and they put it up and you've got it. So it's not like we'll have construction going on here for a month or 2 months while people are here every day working and building the barns, and you've got to stop because of weather and all that kind of stuff. It'll be really nice because they build it off-site in their big indoor industrial garage type thing, so they can work every day, rain or shine, and then the barn will be here. And I think at this point they're estimating February, late February for the run-ins, and early March for the shed row barn. And then the last thing that I have not told you guys about yet is the garage. So that was one of the things that we were really missing here, is that we don't have a garage and we don't have a lot of storage. So when it comes to food storage things and all of that, and tools and lawnmower and ATV and kids bikes and all of that. We just didn't have anywhere to store that stuff. So we ended up deciding that probably the best solution to that was to build a separate 2-car garage. Again, priced all that out, and going through this company that builds them off-site and then puts them together like sort of prefab ended up being not only the best price-wise, but just like overall and getting what we wanted and everything. So that, I don't know, I don't think he's given me the timeline on that. I think that might be like April till that comes. So I'm kind of bummed because again, it's just materials are hard to come by, and all of this has just been kicked out a lot further than we thought it was going to be, but such is life. So he also sent me the blueprints for that as well. So I've got all those printed out so I can sit down with CR and with my parents today and go over all those and make any changes that we want to make and then submit them back so they can kind of go on to the next phase of production. So I'm very excited because come spring, late spring, early summer, we're going to have a place to ride the horses in the arena. We're going to have the barns and structures that they all need, especially in the summer, to be able to get cool, and then coming the following winter to be able to not have to stand out in the rain at all or anything like that. So everybody will be well taken care of, and it's just a process. It takes time and money, and we just have to figure all that stuff out. So I feel good about it. We finally made decisions, which, to be honest, it's been months of going back and forth and feeling like none of us could just pull the trigger and make a decision, and we finally have. So at the very least, I feel really good about that part of it. All right, so then as far as the update out here goes, as you can see, the fencing is all up. We've got the top rail and a no climb at the bottom. We do need to come out here and get it all painted. So I think that's something my mom and I are going to try to do together. A project she and I are going to try to tackle is getting all of this painted. Since I bought that paint sprayer, I think it will go faster. I'd really like to, at this point, just try to save us money wherever I can. So my mom and I are going to see about getting all this fencing painted ourselves. But I'm very excited that it's finally in and done over here for the llamas, everything. And then you can still see we've got a dumpster here, and we've got a dumpster up at the front of our property. That one is totally full, but we've got to go around now and get all of these fence posts up and into the dumpster so that they can go bye-bye, except for the ones that are still good. We do have some through here that are still good, so we're going to save them to be able to use probably eventually when we finish fencing this pasture over here. That's kind of phase 3 of fencing. So this area was all phase 1 of fencing. That area up top was phase 2, and then this down here will be phase 3 of the fencing part. Are you coming out to help me tell everybody about the fencing? Yeah? The Azzy boy? That's a good Azzy boy. You got a stick? You got a stick? You guys, this dog is hilarious. The way that he sleeps, anyways, the camera battery died on me, but this dog is hilarious. The way that he sleeps is so funny. He always has his tongue hanging out, especially when he's sleeping, and he loves to sleep completely flopped out on his back with his legs up in the air. I mean, he looks like a dead bird. If you think about what a dead bird looks like when it's laying on his back, this is what Azzy looks like when he sleeps. It's totally like a dead bird. It's hilarious. And one of his favorite spots to sleep is in front of the toilet, like in the bathroom downstairs in front of the toilet. He loves to sleep there. It cracks me up. You are the funniest little puppy, aren't you? You are the funniest puppy. Are you the sweetest puppy? Yes. It's so warm. We still got to go around and get all of the fence posts up that are in that pasture before we can turn the mares back out over here. But one of the things I'm most excited about is that since the mares haven't been over here, as soon as we pulled out the old fencing, we came through and spread grass seed. And now that grass seed has obviously been doing a great job of growing, and the horses haven't been walking on it or eating it. So we're getting lots of grass growth around here, and that's already giving me like little signs and hope for spring. Hello, Pacha. Hello, Pacha. How are you, baby? Hi, Cusco. Ruthie and Eliza in here, and I don't know if Shelby knows they're in here. Hi, Pacha. Hi, Pacha. Yeah, I don't know if she knows they're in here. I'll have to ask her. The fence line is pretty secured, but at the bottom, I don't think it's totally secure for pigs, so they may have escaped in here. Did you escape in here, Eliza? Hey. Yeah, so those are puppies, those are animals. Yeah. Azzy loves the pigs. He loves to play with the pigs. How are you? Yeah? It's getting time for your nails to be trimmed. It's getting time for your nails to be trimmed. Ready for that? Mommy, I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. That'll be my first llama toenail trim, so we'll definitely film that and keep you updated on how that goes. This guy is much harder to catch. Cusco will let me catch him and let the girls catch him, but Pacha does not like to be caught and haltered, so he will be a difficult one, I think, especially when it comes to nail trims. As you can see, he is a struggle to even let us brush him. Cusco keeps himself very clean, but he does let us brush him, whereas Pacha really just is like, get away from me. So we've got to get him a little bit more acclimated to being handled so that he will let us do the things, especially like the necessary health and wellness things that need to happen for him. My parents brought over their Christmas tree for the goats to eat, and they are loving it. It's just so funny the things that the goats like. So they're over there eating my parents' dead Christmas tree. Hey, hi, Lottie. Where's Tiana? Hi, boo-boos. And then, of course, as I mentioned, we will be building a... Excuse me, Lottie. Excuse me, don't eat my crema. Don't eat my crema. We will be building like a lean-to off the back of this barn over here as well, so that the animals have shade in the barnyard, and we're still going to be building some different like goat obstacles and fun things. You are biting my rings. You can't eat my rings. Some different goat obstacles and stuff like that in here. Just some fun things. Don't eat the tripod. Lottie! Don't eat the tripod. Some different things for them to play with and things like that in here as well, so that they have lots to do and be entertained. She is trying to eat the tripod and my microphone. You crazy goat! You crazy goat! You're so crazy! You're so crazy, hi Tiana. Hi, baby. These goats are so sweet, and you can see already, I've had a few people ask where they were disbudded. It's healed up really nicely. Their hair's grown over the top. Those areas have healed up really nicely, so it's definitely made, I know the girls, Kennedy and Shelby, and me too, our hearts happy to see their little heads all healed up and not having those little like wound scar areas anymore. Is nice. You want me to let you in here to play with your goat friends, huh? Come on. And then in terms of the barn itself, there's still some more stuff I want to do around in here, like in this area, to hopefully just work on drainage and stuff like that. And I still want to whitewash the inside of the barn here as well, and do all these stalls in that whitewash. And then this side over here where we have our storage and everything, I need to come through here. We need to build some shelves out and put some labels and stuff like that so that this area is better organized. Azzy. Yeah, we just keep that door closed so that Lottie and Tiana can't get in there and mess with the food and stuff like that. This one, Lottie, is such a good jumper, so she can really kind of scale anything, and she was able to jump out of her stall, so we had to add some extra no climb. Once she gets a little bit bigger, she won't be able to jump as high because she'll be fatter, but you can see she's got a lot of bounce, a lot of spring in her step. Come on, woohoo! Come on, Tiana! Come on, Chubby. Tiana's way more timid. Come on, baby. Come on, Tiana. Oh, come on. You can do it. Yay! Good girl.
How do we get here, my love? What path do we take? Is it something I did or I said that made your heart break? How do we get here, my love? When did the road turn? How did we end up here? Were we destined?
And now, of course, one of the things I have not touched on at all yet is my garden, is this back garden area. So I do have big plans back here. I've asked on Instagram for some advice from those of you with green thumbs, because as you well know, if you've been around here, I do not have a green thumb, but trying to figure out how to make the best use of this space, because this is the area pretty much the only area that gets enough sun to be a good garden area. So I was really going back and forth about whether or not I wanted to pull up all of the boxwoods that are in these planter areas already and use these areas, or if I just wanted to add more raised beds. The cool thing is that the guy who owned this property before has placed a lot of irrigation in these beds. So there's already irrigation for watering, and that will make things much, much easier for me to not have to come out and water by hand constantly through the summer, especially when it gets so hot. So I'm still working on, that's something I'm actually going to sit down and work on hopefully in the next couple weeks, is like an actual sort of like layout for this area, for this garden area, what I want to plant and where. I've been watching the channel Garden Answer, and she shared about this like website that you can go to where you can like lay out your garden and then say the things that you want to plant, and then they kind of organize it for you into like what grows best together, what can be grown near each other, adjacent, and all that kind of stuff, to make your life a little bit easier if you are new to gardening and just don't know. So I'm very excited. I'm going to try not to do my Angie thing, which is like let the dish run away with a spoon and go crazy with this idea of like having this huge garden. But there's definitely some things I want to grow, and once my office is done, I'm going to do that area like around that with more flowers. So I really want also like a flower garden type cottage garden, if you will. So I'm going to kind of focus the flowers mostly over there. There'll be some sprinkled in here, but this will be mostly like food type things, and I'm going to do raised beds. I just don't know if I'm going to do them atop of what's already here and pull that out, or next to it and all that kind of stuff. So I want to make sure that I leave plenty of space for the kids and the different things we want to do back here, as far as like having eating areas, and you see we have like our checkers set and everything, and there's some different things for the kids, and like a covered area and stuff like that we want to do back here eventually. So I want to make sure I leave room for that and I don't take up the entirety of this back area with gardens. But I'm definitely excited to get to work on the garden. That was something I was really looking forward to when we moved, and just the time of year and how much it takes to move in general. I just didn't leave space for me to even start to think about a garden last year. Even a fall garden was just out of the question for me. Arrived at my parents' house. Oh geez, it's windy. Don't bark at me. Crazy little puppies.
Now you know what.
You crazy little puppies. Hello.
Yeah, they're like, get out of my house. Dash is like, oh yay, and Ellie's like,
Hello. Hello. You look awfully dressed up for working from home.
I got a conference call that they want us to wear a t-shirt.
Hello. Stop barking at me. Hello. Hi, sweetie. I know, you little jackrabbit. You little jackrabbit.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. See? It's okay. I promise. It's okay.
Hey, I like your chairs. It looks nice. It looks really nice. In case anyone's wondering, she's still got her brain fork over there. In case you want to eat brains, you got the stuff.
This is the travel and horse room.
Travel and horse room.
Maps.
If you do not stop barking, sir.
Oh.
He's like, but I don't like her and I want her to leave. I really like are these from Wayfair? I really like the chairs in here and stuff.
Ashley.
I like those a lot. Oh, I don't think I knew you guys still had guitars.
Those hanging is sort of.
I like them.
About leaving them.
No, I love them. I just didn't know you guys still had guitars.
Hey. Oh, he's jealous.
I don't think I've ever talked about that, how you guys both know how to play guitar.
That's not quite true.
They didn't share. My mom can play the piano too. They didn't share any of their musical talent. Dad can sing. He used to play the guitar and sing for us.
Not true. You're telling.
It is too true. Hello. Hey.
Maybe I'll turn around. Ooh, is it too late to come back to you if we wander too far now? get here, my love? What path did we take? Is it something I did or I said that made your heart break? So where do we go from here now? Maybe we'll find new love. Who knows what'll happen? I know we've both searched enough. So I say